The first two episodes of Star Wars Season 2 premiered on January 4, following the Bad Batch's escape from the Empire in the time between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Members of the genetically altered titular clone squad, introduced in the final season of the Clone Wars, are now working as mercenaries. What do the Star Wars crew have to say about Empire's dark conspiracies? Watch this video for full details. First up, Star Wars. The Bad Batch Season 2 dives into the Empire's dark conspiracies. In Season 2, the show's head writer Jennifer Corbett, directing assistant Brad Rau, and Omega actor Michelle Ang all return. Dee Bradley Baker, who has played some of these clone troopers since 2008, is back as Crosshair, the Bad Batch, and many other characters. Before the second season's premiere, Corbett, Rau, Ang, and Baker talked about how clones were regarded in this period, Crosshair's compelling storyline, and how Omega's perspective is changing as she learns more about the galaxy. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Star Wars is the clone trooper Mystique. When the crew was asked what Season 2 added to that, Jennifer Corbett said that Tipoca City on Camino, the clones' home, was destroyed at the end of Season 1. That demonstrates how the Empire feels about clone manufacture in general and the continued use of specific clones, which they extensively covered in Season 1. According to Jennifer, the Empire's perception of the clones as just property and a resource that is waning in value is explored in depth in Season 2, along with their desire to strengthen and increase the power of their military. She claimed that the Batch responds to this like other characters encountered in Season 2. She added that the focus of the series is still very much on the clones, so they are sticking with that. In response to that question, Brad Rau said they discussed the Empire's treatment of the clones as surplus property, which directly influences the course of the show. Michelle Ang said, "It's an absolute honor to be a part of it since she's relatively new to Star Wars." Michelle said she was experiencing it as she was getting the scripts, so obviously there has been a sea change. According to Michelle, in one episode, clones are being phased out while the Imperial recruitment bill is being discussed in the Senate. She added that it draws attention to the intriguing notion that clones have political opinions and identities, but are only mentioned as a resource that the established order may choose to control or essentially shut off. Michelle said it seems so unfair to Omega, who wants to fight for recognition of their dignity as human beings, and that Omega has the impression that the troopers are only tools on a much broader political stage, and that the change the Empire is attempting to reenact will be significant. Up next, because of Crosshair's Season 2 arc, the interviewer asked Dee if he should be worried that his voice is the one that stays in his brain after watching, given his icy demeanor. Dee Bradley Baker responded that he was genuinely shocked that Crosshair is the one that stuck with him. As a voice actor, he claimed that it's strange because a person acts out the scene as he pictures it in his head, but it gets edited later. Dee said an actor might change something in post-production, but he doesn't see the animation or how the final tale was created. According to Dee, given what he has to go through, the Crosshair material might become his new favorite Bad Batch storyline. Dee added that his path is incredibly interesting and heartbreaking. In his opinion, fans are going to go crazy over it. In Season 2, Omega associates with a nice range of mentor characters. When the crew was asked to elaborate on how they impacted her, Rau said that Omega is deeply affected by all of her Bad Batch fathers, and they wanted to demonstrate to her how learning new things and training, even when it seems like homework or a frightening circumstance, can be useful. According to Rau, Figanoa, played by Wanda Sykes, is one of their new favorite characters because she's such a wonderful addition. Rau said that there are a few situations where Omega can be seen picking up some of Fi's traits. Rau claimed, "It's always fantastic when they can focus on Hunter because he doesn't particularly appreciate the direction this kid's attitude is taking." Rau added that even though it is an animated show, they wanted to play up the reality and truly understand the characters' perspectives. According to Ang, Omega has never left Camino since they originally saw her in Season 1, and as a result, she could see the wonders of the cosmos. Ang claims she is already extremely accustomed to the life of a mercenary and bounty hunter when the second season picks up with her, but her path is about discovering what counts and what are the things in life that are truly significant. Ang said that Omega finds in Fi an example of an extremely successful pirate who has no one to answer to except herself and leads a carefree life that suits her. She said Omega has never really known childhood, thus her interactions with kids are crucial. Ang claimed meeting other children demonstrates that other children live these purer lives. She added that it makes Omega and her brothers question whether taking her along on the mercenaries' journey is the best move. Up next, it feels like the clones may be a commentary on an uncaring authority. As power is concentrated, compassion gives way to selfishness, and soldiers are seen more as instruments to be discarded. Find out what members of the crew have to say. In Corbett's opinion, it may be related to how the Republic treated clone troopers during the Clone Wars. Corbett said they were assigned clone numbers, but frequently they were encouraged to be unique. For example, Rex, Cody, and Echo all had names. According to Corbett, the Empire is completely opposed to that, but the Jedi embraced and even encouraged it. He said it's back to being their clone trooper number on their clone commando number, and they aren't allowed to have variations or any color in their uniform. Corbett claimed that's the way they also treat their military. In his opinion, the Bad Batch, who truly didn't find any place, seems to be a little more distant from it. Corbett said that it's different for Echo, who is a regular person. He wasn't genetically modified. He was made into a cyborg and felt somewhat more linked to what's going on with clones. He added that there was a lot of emphasis in Season 2. Baker said when an autocracy or authoritarian regime seizes power and consolidates the narrative, it tries to rewrite history and erase it. He said everyone serves as a cog, a device to increase Palpatine's power. He claimed that if a person is just a cog serving that, then the person might have a small role in the bigger picture, but that's it. If not, the authoritarian is free to get rid of the person and will send everyone their way. According to Baker, that's part of what made Star Wars founder George Lucas so brilliant. He began the first trilogy with the fundamental premise of rebelling against oppression, then going further in the past with the prequels and the Clone Wars. He illustrates how democracy ages, degenerates, and crumbles, and how authoritarianism emerges as a result. Baker said it is a very daring, imaginative, and ambitious canvas from which to paint these unique experiences. He added that with all these stories like The Bad Batch, Andor, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, each with their character and tone but all fitting together, it's playing out wonderfully. Up next, Star Wars Bad Batch Season 2's The Jump confirmed. It's been revealed how much time has passed between the events of Star Wars The Bad Batch's first season and those of its planned second season. Fans of the animated series were astounded by the spectacular season finale of Star Wars The Clone Wars in 2021, in which experimental Clone Force 99 battled to withstand the Empire's attack on Tipoca City. The importance of the cloning facility in Attack of the Clones and Star Wars The Clone Wars, as well as its significance to the cast of The Bad Batch, left viewers wondering where Omega and Clone Force 99 would go after Season 1 concluded. Producer of the Clone Wars spin-off Star Wars The Bad Batch, Jennifer Corbett, stated a couple of months have transpired between the events of Season 1 and Season 2 in an exclusive interview with The Direct. When initially questioned about Omega's development throughout the series and whether it paralleled Ahsoka's development in the Clone Wars, Corbett agreed that the two shows have comparable themes. Still, they wanted to root it in this young kid growing up with her space dads. Corbett clarified that Omega represents the time jump between the show's devastating Season 1 ending and the beginning of its second season. Omega is a little more trained, has her helmet, and has a fresh look, just like the marketing posters for the series have indicated. Brad Rau, the show's producer, recently indicated that The Bad Batch's second chapter doesn't pick up directly after the first season's conclusion. Fans were unaware of how much time had gone between the two seasons because Rau had previously stated in an interview that he wouldn't tell how much time had passed. Rau said a little time has elapsed before they get to the beginning of Season 2, and how that influences the whole season will be fascinating. Finally, why The Bad Batch needed time between seasons. The first season of the animated Star Wars series focused on the reactions of clone warriors to Order 66, the conclusion of the war, and the beginning of the Empire's conversion to conscripted soldiers. This tale reached new heights when the Empire destroyed Tipoca City on Kamino, cutting the clones from their past and mission. Fans were aware that the clones would be stunned, but they were unaware of the long-term effects of the attack, and therefore it was wise to start Season 2 some months later. The Bad Batch's showrunners have kept most of the specifics of the upcoming season a secret, but they have revealed a few changes to look out for, and Omega is undoubtedly one of them, as Corbett pointed out. It will be interesting to observe how much Omega has matured and how her development has affected the number of other changes that Clone Force 99 will experience. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!